Hello, and welcome to Timing is Everything, a program of Care Dimensions. My name is Mary Crowe. I'm the Director of Professional and Community Education at Care Dimensions. I am so thrilled to have Amy Rein, who is Development Special Events Manager, and our own Judy Cranney, who's the Vice President Chief Operating Officer here at Care Dimensions. And today we're talking about a really important topic. We're going to talk about the Care Dimensions Walk for Hospice. So thank you so much, both of you, for being on today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, so before we get started, I'd love for each of you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself. So Judy, you want to start?
Sure, I'm Judy Cranney. I have been at Care Dimensions, formerly Hospice of the North Shore, for close to 20 years. My title is Vice President, Chief Operating Officer, but I have the lucky position of working with all the clinical staff in the agency at all 4 sites that we serve now. It's been a truly wonderful experience for me. I'm a nurse by trade, and this position allows me to help so many and work with so many talented people. It's really been a gift for me.
Thank you, Judy. Go ahead, Amy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy, and I am the Development Special Events Manager, and I have not been here as long as Judy by any means, but it's been 4 years, and I really feel like it's an honor and a privilege. I manage the events and the fundraising aspects that go with them. And honestly, our job has made easier by all of the fabulous clinicians that work for Care Dimensions. And so we're lucky to be able to get to know the grateful families. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate being on talking about our most important and our biggest event, which is our Walk for Hospice.
Thank you so much, Amy. So Judy, let's start on. Can you give a little bit, you've been here a long time, you've made a huge impact, certainly on the organization and the community. Talk a bit about the walk and the history of it.
Sure, I can't say I was here at the beginning of the walk, certainly, but this is our 34th walk this year. And the first walk took place back in 1988. When our name was Hospice of the North Shore, which I'm sure many people who grew up on the North Shore knew that name. I certainly did. At that point, the agency was 9 years old and totally run by volunteers. It's so different now. We're so much larger an agency with different staffing, but these volunteers did wonderful work. And they were housed in a 2-family house on Winter Street in Beverly, and knew the importance of putting the hospice word out there. Hospice was in its infancy back in 1988. And they developed the first walk. 75 people took that first walk, which went from Cabot Street in Beverly to Endicott College and then back again, and raised $6,000 for hospice services. Pretty innovative, pretty smart. They understood how important this process was, not only to notify everybody of what wonderful things hospice can do, but the need for the community to support hospice care, particularly at a time when volunteers were who ran the agency. I think, I have been here for 20 years. I think back on these people that started in awe of how little they had and if they could all see it, and hopefully they still do, see what hospice has come to now. We have 750 employees. We see in hospice alone 1,000 patients a day. So we've come a long way, but I think we owe a debt of gratitude to those folks in 1988 that got it all started.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Why, Judy? Why is it so important? Why is this walk so important?
Well, I think the question probably is, why do we walk? I think the biggest reason is we walk to remember our loved ones we've lost.
Yeah.
I'm at every walk. I have been for the last 20 years, and I see families that have been walking for 20 years to remember a particular loved one that passed away. Large teams of families with T-shirts and that they've had made up. And sometimes it's just 1 or 2 people who are walking together, remembering a loved one. As I said, 75 people walked that first year. currently, COVID aside, certainly, we have up to 4,000 people that walk each year in the walk. I think another reason we walk is to celebrate a special caregiver. Then that could be a family member as well as part of the hospice team. Often our families want to see the nurse again, or the social worker, or the chaplain, and this gives them that opportunity. And then, very importantly, to support hospice care. We are reimbursed by insurances, and that doesn't always cover everything that we want to do for our patients and our family. So monies raised from the walk are an important part of what we do each day.
Yeah. So obviously the walk is so critically important. So talk a little bit more about that, Judy, in terms of like the benefits. So the money's raised at the walk. How does that, and who does it benefit?
So most importantly, I guess they're all important, but most importantly, hospice, I was going to call it Hospice of the North Shore. You can tell how long I've been here. Care Dimensions admits any eligible patients regardless of their ability to pay. So it helps us with our free care patients, which is so important. We never want to turn anyone away. Complementary therapies is one of our newer services. When I say new, probably in the last 10 years or so, which the walk supports. And that's our pet therapy, massage therapy, music therapy, art therapy, Reiki, those things that are just as important as the medication that the physician might order in keeping people comfortable and reducing anxiety, et cetera. So important for us and for the patient. It also supports our Bertillon Center for Grief and Healing. It assists in that area, supporting those folks that have been left behind after a loss. We follow all of our hospice families who have suffered a loss for 13 months in a number of different ways, through mailings, support groups, one-on-one counseling, and these monies are certainly valuable in that area. Another important thing that the walk supports is our family fund. Many people, particularly as illness strikes their family, begin to struggle financially. And we're able to help these folks with non-medical needs that they're having trouble with. Maybe we pay a mortgage or an electric bill, a phone bill, heating oil, something to that effect, that will help them maintain what their living situation while they go through this tough time. It allows us to support palliative care as well as invest in volunteer trainings and new initiatives. And one thing we learned, unfortunately, in the last 18 months is having these funds allows us to make changes quickly in very challenging times, the COVID pandemic. We had to work quickly to make changes to continue to serve our patients in the most appropriate way. And having a bit of a financial ability to make those changes was hugely important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can't even underestimate that. I mean, such a critical time, Judy. And again, Care Dimensions didn't miss a beat in terms of making sure that the people that they cared for continue right on. So again, I think that's so important. The other, those of us who've done this walk for so many years too, we always look for you, Judy, at a particular corner of the walk. And that's been a big deal each year for many of us.
My husband and our two dogs stand on what I've been told is Cranney Corner, and there's nothing more wonderful than to greet families year after year who come looking for us along the walk. It's been wonderful. I have learned in the last few years they're more interested in the dogs than us, but I guess that's to be expected. They're right.
Oh, thank you, Judy. Such great information. Amy, I want to go to you for a second. Let's talk about Walk Day. Talk about the walk this year.
Sure. So with the health and safety, of our community at the forefront of Care Dimensions' mind, we again decided to take the walk virtual. As Judy mentioned, we can have upwards to 4,000 and maybe more over at the wonderful St. John's Prep campus. And not knowing what was sort of going to be happening, we decided to err on the side of safety, and we're having it virtual again. So we will have an incredible celebratory broadcast, and that will happen on Sunday, September 19th. However, the rest of the walk will be virtual. And what we like to say is it's actually really good news, because what we're allowing people to do is to walk where they want, how they want, and when they want. And, sort of what that means is that you can walk with your family, and it sort of allows you, we have families who live all across the country, and some of them pick a specific day and they all walk, even if they're not all together, they all may take a walk on that day. We have folks who like to walk in a really special place. One of our walkers, Lynn Woods, was a special place to her sister who passed away. So she takes the opportunity to gather a few people and they walk that special route. And you can walk when you want. So if your family is already getting together for a summertime event, you can walk then, or you can plan it for a time even after Sunday, September 19th. And the other part that we sort of added this year is to walk how you want. So you don't have to walk. I mean, you can run or dance or play chess or kayak or whatever it is that you love to do, whatever activity you like to do and you were already planning on doing, that can be your walk. It doesn't actually physically have to be a walk in order to, be a meaningful activity. So that's sort of the virtual aspect that we're doing. And we have a lot of online support to sort of help you. We want everyone to know that even though we're not all together, we are still with you every step of the way. And we have many tools that will help you feel that you are not alone, that we're with you.
Oh, that's great. And like you say, it's about the meaning for people, right? And there are different things that really resonate for people. And so, they're able to incorporate that in, which is really neat. So talk, Amy, about what are some fundraising tips?
Yes. So, what we tell everybody, everyone gets nervous about fundraising. It's not something that sometimes feels natural to people. But as Judy expressed, I mean, it's critical. This is our largest fundraiser, and it's really important to fund all the really important things that Judy mentioned. And so we have some really great and easy ways for people to fundraise. So as I said, on our website, on the walk site, which is caredimensions.org/walk. You can find all the things that I am talking about. But one of the most easy ways to do it, first of all, once you register for the walk, you will be receiving emails with all kinds of great advice and tips of what to do. And they can be as simple as, if you have Facebook, we have an incredible way that our walk site links right directly to Facebook. And Facebook fundraisers have been super successful this year for many organizations, including Care Dimensions. And oftentimes, you don't even really have to ask. You just sort of link up to your walk site, which it does automatically. And we can help folks with that if they're a little bit nervous about how to do that. And overnight, we have had so many people that have raised $1,000 in one night without even really doing anything other than just linking up their Facebook to their walk site and telling their story of who they're walking for. And it's really incredible. We have had other families that have had a family barbecue, and instead of all chipping in, bringing food, each family member brought a little bit of money and sort of raised a fair bit that way. You can have yard sales and garage sales. We have a woman who paints these absolutely beautiful rocks. They're very, very artistic, and they're very symbolic and meaningful. And she's selling them on Facebook, and all the proceeds are literally, she's having people pay on her walk site. So the money is going directly to her walk page. So there are a lot of simple and easy ways to raise money. that don't feel uncomfortable. I know a lot of people have a hard time asking, and so we have emails that are already set up that you can just use the language to send out emails to your friends and family. And there's just a multitude of ways. And I also think it's really important to mention that you don't have to raise a lot of money. There is no minimum. And what's really important to know is that every dollar is so impactful, and that don't hesitate. If you can only raise a few dollars, don't be shy, still do it. You all probably know one of our incredible hospice aides who's been doing the walk for so many years. She does it the old-fashioned way, and she has a lot of connections to the families that she cared for. Most of her donations are really $5 and $10. But by the end, combined with all of what she does and with other people, it really makes a difference. And, we're very good stewards of the money, and we make sure that it goes to all the important things that really creates Care Dimensions. The care is exceptional, and we really go above and beyond, which is what we want to do every single day. And every dollar that is raised really does make a difference. So don't hesitate, don't be shy. Read our materials, reach out to us at any time. We're here, to help you with all of the fundraising.
I think it should, like you say, Amy, it's for people, they just don't know even how to initiate or start doing that kind of stuff. So giving them some of these ideas is really helpful, and I loved how, people really, they do get, the clinical team is so important. They get so connected to the people. This is such a personal time of life, and the caregivers are so important. And I really see that a lot of times people want to show their appreciation. And this is a wonderful way, again, to honor that person too. So I see a lot of that happening with the walk. So I think we can encourage people in a lot of different ways. So, and like you say, Amy, some people are a little shy about technology and social media, that sort of thing. So can you talk just a little bit more about that sort of thing in terms of how they can, make that a little easier or get that word out?
Absolutely. So once you register on our site, we will send you all kinds of helpful information to make it, super easy for you. And honestly, we have helped so many people just set up their Facebook fundraisers. What we ask is, if you have a photo of your loved one, send us the photo. We'll put it up there. Some of our folks are comfortable, uploading a photo and putting it on their walk site, telling their story. But there are many folks that aren't. And my wonderful colleague, Allison Williams, she has helped so many people set up their walk page, put the photo on, tell the story of why you were walking. And what you see is almost always in the story of the care that their loved one received are the specific names of the people on their care team that they're walking, and that the care that they got just made such an impact at such a difficult time for them. And most of our families are just so connected to us, and they want to stay connected to us. So in addition to feeling connected to the loved one that passed, they have a deep appreciation and a place in their heart for Care Dimensions. And they are looking for a way to honor their loved one and to give back, so that Care Dimensions continue giving that care to other families that are going through the same things. So, don't be shy, reach out to us. We want to help you in any way. And we promise that we won't make you do anything that you're not comfortable. You can do as much or as little as you want. And every little bit does help.
Yeah. I think people do. They feel kind of pressure, like they have to be raising excessive amounts of dollars or that sort of thing. So I like, Amy, that you're saying every little bit adds up. Every bit impacts. And so that makes a difference. And I also like the fact that, again, they can call and you can guide them through this setup process. So that has it, because we don't want to create anxiety for people. We want them to enjoy this process.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we also will, once you register, we'll send you out what we call a welcome kit. And so since we're not all together, we want to make sure that you have some tools that will bring extra meaning to your walk. We really see in the last 2 years, since COVID pandemic, that a lot of families have not been able to have their normal rituals in order to say goodbye to their loved ones, with various restrictions that we've had, and they haven't had the funerals or the memorial services. So this walk really becomes a time for them to bring meaning. And we'll send you out a whole bunch of things that you can just help pay tribute to your loved ones. So, you might recognize these. Some of these are from the in-person walk. We have a sticker so you can put who you're walking in memory of. We have what number walk you are. For Judy, it would have been 20 something. For me, it's my fourth walk. But other people, it's just their first. We have a heart of remembrance. And so, you can hang this anywhere in your house or outside on a tree and, put a sentiment on that. And then we have these really fun lanyard sneakers. And oftentimes people decorate them with the name of their loved one on it. And so you can wear that while you're walking. And then we also have these little stones, just sort of memory stones. You can put your loved one's name on it or paint a picture. You can put it in your garden or bring it with you on your walk. And we encourage people to take photos of themselves, which they do, and send them to us. And we'll include that in our virtual broadcast on September 19th. So we want to stay connected, even if we're not all together. And these are ways that we can all remain connected. If you have a big group of people and you're going to walk, we're happy to come to you and bring you all these things. I've been really privileged to actually this year go on a couple of walks. I just did a walk in North Andover with one of our families, and it was just so inspiring to meet 20 other people. They had their own t-shirts. Everyone wore sneakers. It was raining. We had Care Dimensions hats on. And, it's really a time to reflect, to give thanks to the people that helped you along the way, and to remember your loved one who will always, have a special place in your heart.
That's wonderful that you got to be a part of that too. So like you say, there is a way, in addition to individuals and families who will be tuning into this, Amy and Judy, there's going to be corporations and organizations too. So, we want to invite them to take part. Again, even if they're not honoring a particular individual and their family, they can be a part of this huge event. So can you just say a little bit about that too?
Absolutely. We are so fortunate at Care Dimensions that we have such a large community of corporate partners. We sort of call them our partners in caring, because really without them, we wouldn't be as successful. And, we're very lucky that we've had a great outpouring from local banks and institutions. And for many, many years, a lot of our great sponsorships come from the community. And we're super, super grateful. I just literally yesterday got our walk shirts, and I probably can't even fit this in the screen because we have so many corporate partners. They're all on our back. I have to hide myself to show you because we are just so lucky. We thank them. We want them to walk, and we're also helping a lot of the organizations do their walk. We have some sponsors that are vendors of ours from like Alabama and different states, and they're doing their walk. And you guys may be familiar with Copyright Clearance Center, who has been a corporate sponsor of us. Right now, they have 105 people registered for their team walk, and they're doing their walk on September 12th. So we encourage our community partners. We're always looking for new partnerships, and just reach out. We'd love to have you.
Oh, that's great. Judy, I want to talk to you about again, I've been here 15, you've been here, even more than that, as you mentioned, 20 years. Boy, watching over the years, it really moves me. Certainly I'm so connected to the mission of this organization, and I know that you are so much so as well. And just talk a little bit about how, what this has meant to you over the years and watching an event such as this.
It's always touching to see all of a sudden 4,000 people, this is when we're in person, coming your way. And there's a certain joy in the group. It's not necessarily, I'm sure there are lots of broken hearts, but a certain joy, lots of laughter, lots of fun, lots of dogs accompanying walkers. It's really has been a great time and will continue to be in maybe a different way. I was sitting here listening to Amy talk, and I thought, I'm the lucky one. I get to see the success and where the dollars go, and what a pet visiting someone who's always loved dogs at the Kaplan House means to that family and that patient, or taking someone's electric bill that is all they've been able to think of and being able to pay that. It's a privilege to see the dollars put to where they go in such a good and rewarding way. So I think I need to say thank you to everyone who has walked in the past, who will walk this year, and tell you that what you raise is used for wonderful, wonderful things with our patients and families.
Yeah. Wow. That's really neat. And that is so powerful, Judy, because like you say, people think just such a small thing. Oh, it's just a one bill, that sort of thing. This is a huge obstacle for a lot of people. How can you really focus on the things that you need to be focusing at a time like that when you have these other things that are weighing on you?
Right. There is a second part of the family fund that I didn't mention, and we have, which is always enjoyable for me. We have a social piece as well. In some cases, folks just want to go out for one last date with their spouse, and we may use family fund dollars to help them do that, or a special birthday for a child, a party or something. So yeah, the electric bills are very, very important, and that's what we take care of first. But we want to make sure that people's wishes are granted in some small way. And certainly the monies raised from the walk goes to that as well.
That's wonderful. Amy, how can people repeat, how can they get more information? How can they join in this process?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of ways. The first way I'll mention is just to go onto our walk site, which is caredimensions.org/walk. And from there, you can register, you can donate, you can contact us if you have any questions. You certainly can call me anytime. I love talking to folks. So give me a call. My number is 978-907-4750. Don't hesitate. If it's your first walk, we will be with you, as I mentioned, every step of the way. We have lots of great ideas and we'll help you as much or as little as you like. Don't hesitate to give us a call. Anyone in our department, we love talking to the family members and we love guiding you, and we'll help you make your walk meaningful and inspirational. And, if you want items to sort of come together and walk, we can do that. We have our Care Dimensions logo we can offer you if you want to put them on personal t-shirts. As Judy mentioned, so many of our teams like to make a t-shirt. The walk that I just did was Mary's Angels, and her favorite color was purple. So when we got there, they were all in purple. And it really just is a wonderful way to keep that person's memory alive and in your heart, and at the same time celebrate their caregivers and the work that Care Dimensions does every day. So reach out to us. We'd love to be there for you.
Excellent. Well, we're getting to a point where we need to wrap up. I'll tell you, these are things that we could just go on and talk about. It's been such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much for both of you for being here and for sharing this information. Is there anything else that you just want to add before we wrap up today?
Just like Judy said, let's thank all of our walkers, our family members, and our community for the incredible support that they have given us all these years.
Same for me as well. Thank you.
Judy and Amy, thank you so very much. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Timing is Everything, and look forward to your taking part in our next broadcast.
Home. More than ever, it's your sanctuary. But if you're caring for a loved one with advanced illness, it can feel isolating and worrisome. Care Dimensions can help. As Massachusetts' leading hospice provider, you can count on us for guidance, medical care, and support. We follow all COVID-19 safety precautions to protect you and your family, so you don't have to delay getting the care you need. Visit Care Dimensions online or give us a call.